Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today again. Sorry for the latency issues, guys. I think I'm going to have to go down to my ISP's main office again with a blunt instrument and attempt to really just hash these issues that we've been having out. Just a nice, friendly conversation, you know, just a couple guys just talking, you know, just a couple guys just talking. Wally, thanks so much for the $10, man. Thanks so much, man. I'm going to put that toward my ISP bill. You know, the issue is that, you know, the issue is not coming from inside my house. They need to maintenance the network that is outside. I think what might potentially be happening is that somebody in my local area might have an old 60s ham radio, and it's throwing off the bandwidth. I don't know, something like that. I've heard all kinds of wackadoodle stuff, man. All right, guys, so hopefully you can see me and hear me, and everything's okay. I did a few things. I'm still getting some pretty choppy upstream. What I did was I did scale down the resolution output. I don't think it's going to help that much. So if it's completely unviewable, let me know. If it's just way too much chop, I do recommend reducing the quality on your view settings. If you just click the gear icon down there and maybe click 480p, maybe that will help out. We'll do this together, guys. But if it ends up being fairly unviewable, we'll just wrap this up fairly quick. I just want to talk about some exciting stuff, and hopefully you can hear the soothing sounds of my voice and everything will be all right. Okay, so okay, obviously today is going to be the first day of February. It's Friday. Congratulations, guys. We're almost to the weekend. Everything's going to smooth out. We're going to have a nice day. Thank you so much. A lot of people tuning in. I know. I apologize. I apologize for the little bit of lag, guys. So we'll get through this together, guys. All right. So before we get into the charts, I do want to talk about some stuff, man. Oh, I'm not on Wi-Fi, man. No. I'm, trust me, I'm So pretty, this is a, you know, and again, I can't take all the credit, but, you know, I did have, I do got a good team, and they do have a nice setup for me here. You know, I've got the nice router, I got the nice modem, I got the professional cables, I got, you know, and, you know, what's annoying too is that, you know, one of my friends does work for my ISP as the installer, as the tech. So, you know, he even came out and ran it all with the high quality stuff for me. He's a streamer on Fortnite. You guys can go check him out at the malicious one. And yeah, still sucks. Still sucks. Gotta watch crypto. Thank you so much, guys. So let's get into some stuff, guys. I've been really, really busy lately in my little cave of coding indicators. That's what I've been doing. Because I want to get that stuff up and ready and running and prepared. Subscribers to the premium, to the Kraken Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group will have access to the protected scripts. You're not going to be able to see the logic, but you're going to be able to see, and I will fully explain and understand how the scripts work. You're just not going to be able to take the script and mess with it, because these are my babies. I've put a lot of work into them. But if you are a subscriber to the trading group, then you will have access to it. I will create the script once I'm all done. I'm almost done on most of them. I will publish the script on TradingView as a protected script, and then I will grant license access to the subscribers. I'm not sure what we're going to do for non-subscribers in the future. We've had a lot of requests just for the indicators. We might offer that as an a la carte service, especially when we flesh out the store on the website a little bit more. But we'll let you guys know. We'll let you guys know as we move forward with that. Obviously, we have there's three main indicators that I'm working on using. One is primarily a momentum indicator. Now, its purpose is to catch the bottoms and catch the tops quite well for you. However, it's not a trend catching indicator. That is my Midas touch indicator. That is what I've been working on for several years. It is a very unnatural approach to the markets. It is my own logic that I've worked very hard to code into Pine, which has not been easy for me. And I have been resting on the shoulders of giants to do that. My logic, how I can trade it manually, not so difficult. But getting a computer to understand exactly how to do it, that's a little bit more tricky. So that is a trend catching indicator, meaning that you're going to have whipsaw, meaning that you're not going to be able to catch all the highs and lows. But when you do have a strongly trending environment, the idea is that it gets you in at the right time and rides that trend for you. Whereas you might want to panic and get out of the trend so that it maximizes your gains in that fashion. The other is a slightly more nuanced indicator, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. I'll show you guys some examples of what I've been working on. But let's go over here real quick. And I want to talk about what we're doing, and then we'll get into the charts, I promise, guys. All right, so, okay, here we are. If you guys... I was told there would be Lambos. Thanks, man. I like it. Hey, guys, thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming, guys. All right. Now, listen, the giveaway is live, guys. We're going to be giving away 3. That's right. 1, 2, 3. 3 spots for free. 3 1-month subscription links to the Kraken Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group. So the competition is live. It just went live at noon. The competition is live. So head on over to krakencryptocurrency.com. Link is in the description down below. Or it's in the Discord. It's all over the place. We plaster ourselves across the internet as best as we can. If you go there, you're going to get this nice little pop-up that says, want a free month of the Premium Trading Group. All you got to do is click the little take me to the giveaway link right here. It's lagging a little bit on my computer because I have hardware acceleration turned off so that I can screen capture. But you click that, it's going to take you right here. It's going to describe what the Kraken Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group entails, what you'll have access to, a little brief description of what we do, kind of our mission statement. And then you'll be able to log in using any of your social media. So this is powered by Gleam. So this is a third-party software that we've paid for. And the way it works is you can log in to Gleam using any of your social media accounts. You don't have to register an account. So if you got a Discord, you can just log into this with your Discord, with your Discus, your email, your Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. You log in and you can just simply verify that you're following us, that you're in our Discord server, that you're following us on Twitter, that you're subscribed on YouTube, that you're following us on Twitch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll get entries for that. And the more stuff that you do, the more entries you get. Now, at the end of 2 weeks, we're going to run this contest for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, we're going to pick 3 random winners. Now, why would you want to put more entries in? Well, because it's a random draw, the more entries that you have in, the greater your chance of being picked. Now, What's really cool about this too is that you can earn bonus points for inviting your friends. So, you know, the idea is we want this to virally spread. We want people to understand about this channel, where they can get good information about the markets and where they can get good trade setups and strategies as well. Because there's a lot of bad advice and negativity out there, a lot of doomsayers, a lot of moon boys, and I just want to try to cancel the noise out. And that's the reason that I created this channel, was just to share my experience with you, my feelings about the market, my analysis of the market, as well as my experience in trading as well. So if you guys want to take part of that, I hope you guys do. I'm looking forward to seeing who wins. I'm looking forward to welcoming you guys to our community. So go ahead and go check that out, guys. KrakenCryptocurrency.com. Just click the pop-up and you guys will be there right now. And again, this is going to run for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, it'll be done. Okay, so today is...
Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger don't give a shit. It just...
Hey, thanks so much, Only C777 for the follow on Twitch. What's going on, man? All right, so today is February the 1st, which means we need to close out January's tracking sheet for the trades for the Kraken Cryptocurrency Premium Group. So I'm going to close this out today. I have not finished updating this for the trades that went last night. Darn you, pop-up, get away. All right, so this is our live trade tracker sheet. This page automatically updates every 1 minute, every 60 seconds. This automatically pulls exchange data, or excuse me, API data from the exchanges and refreshes our price. So this is a live trade tracking sheet. So if you're ever confused, if you're a subscriber and you're following our calls, or you're interested in what we're trading as a group, you'll be able to see right here on this sheet. We put all closed out calls down here, and I'll open calls at the bottom, which I will not scroll down to because then that would be basically giving away our proprietary information. So just a brief recap of the month of January for us. So again, remember, this is we do a lot of BMEX trading. Okay, we primarily trade. In fact, we really only trade on MEX and Binance. So so this is one thing that I do want to point out while I'm talking about this is that you're going to see a lot of people fronting and showing their ROE on their MEX trades, all right, their return on equity, but not showing how much capital they have, which is why when we report our profit and loss, our P&L, it's in the percentage of the position size. Okay, so if, for example, this is what you'll see in a lot of, you know, crypto Twitter posters or wannabe trading groups around the world, whatever, is that they'll say, hey man, go 10x leverage on XBT USD, man, and then price moves up, you know, 1%, and they're like, yeah, man, we made 10% profit on that trade. Or go 25x leverage on this, man, we made 25x. No, I mean, on your margin you did, but your leverage doesn't matter. Your position size matters. So if you're actually a trader who knows what they're doing, and you're doing dynamic position size allocation as per your stop loss, as we do in the Kraken Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group, is how we approach this. Our position sizing, which is a very important part. Risk management, position sizing, technical analysis. It goes that way, not the other way around. It does not start with technical analysis. It starts with risk management and understanding how to calculate the correct position size per your account balance, so that if you have a losing trade, you're not blowing out your account balance. It's quite simple. And this is all explained in the webinar series. So when we're reporting P&L, we're reporting P&L from the actual position size percentage. So, for example, right here, BCHH19. When we say 4.06%, that means that price from entry to exit moved 4.06%. Not that our margin gained 4.06%, meaning your entire position size made 4.06% profit. I feel that is a much more honest way of reporting wins and losses. That's why you'll see people with highly inflated sheets that say like 10,000% a week. That's on margin, and that's if they're extremely lucky. But that's dishonest, and it's misleading, and it's a marketing tool. So just be aware, make sure that you're aware of that, guys. When you're seeing the ROE showers, or when you're seeing people report their P&Ls, that they're exposing, that they're showing you, okay, well, how much margin did you have in the trade? How much leverage were you using? What was your position size? You know, if you were trading, 10,000 contracts and you were using 25x leverage and your margin was very small, I mean, 30% ROE is really not that impressive, because you're talking about a 0.3% valuation for the position size. Not a great trade. And it's risky. So we've gone over week 2. Week 4, kind of slow week for us. A lot of whipsaw, as you can see. But overall, the strategy held quite nicely, ending up right now 25.36%. I actually do have to put a couple more trades on here, so I'll fully update this. So as you can see, pretty much 50-50 on winners and losers this week, but that's part of the strategy, guys. So, you know, sometimes we have amazing weeks where we have significantly more winners than losers, and sometimes, I mean, this is real trading, guys. We're not, the reason I started this was to be honest and transparent about the trades that I take, as well as the rest of my team members. So, the proper strategy allows you to have, again, I know traders who trade traditional options or traditional equities who only have winning trades 35% of the time, 30 to 35% of the time, and they're profitable. And that's because of risk management. That's because when they lose small, and when they win big. And that's the point, especially if you're trying to catch trends. So we try to do a good mix. Again, we have some traders that specialize. I try to focus on I more try to focus on range trading and trend catching. So depending on the market structure, I will trade ranges using overbought, oversold levels with particular indicators that I've designed, and using my own strategy that I've developed painstakingly over a long time to catch trends, which is not unlike. I've never seen anybody else do this thing, and that's why that's why I will take it to the grave with me. But subscribers will have access to the logic and the indicator that will represent my idea in real time. And then you'll be able to automate that if you so choose. That's your own personal preference on how you choose to do this. So closing out week 3, it seems with 25.36% total P&L. Not bad. Okay, so enough of that. Let's go over to the charts, guys, and get into stuff. Hopefully, again, let me guys know if this is completely unviewable. Yeah, Mal. What I'm saying is if you can be right 30% of the time and you can manage your money, you'll be all right, bro. All right. All right, good. All right, so what do I mean that the apex is upon us? All right, let's get rid of some of this. And that's actually just go ahead and clear the clutter off the chart. Guys, let's just clear the clutter off the chart and just start with price action, all right? And we're going to go ahead and go to the weekly. All right, so weekly about to close in about 3 days. Not entirely positive. You can see that on candle body closes, the attempted movement back up was very weak. Again, when you're trading intraday time frames, it's okay. There was obviously lots of potential here on the 30-minute chart, on the 15-minute chart, on the hourly chart. Fine. But what we're interested in is big movements. Where is Bitcoin going to go next? So my analysis still holds. I'm not targeting longs in this particular position. Again, just looking at the weekly candle. The weekly candle's bearish. I'm not going to be entering into a long trade. Weekly candle's bearish. I'm not going to be looking for a long trade. Weekly candle's bullish. I might be looking for a long trade. Again, one other way that you can qualify this is by simply looking at Heikin-Ashi. All right. If you pull up a higher time frame, you look at Heikin-Ashi. If the previous candle is red, then you're not looking to go long. If the previous candle is green, then you're not looking to go short. That's a very good qualifier for a trade. You can make that more short-term by going down to the lower time frames. So let's pull up Heikin-Ashi. As we can see, we're not looking for a long. As we can see here, we would have been looking for a long. As we can see here, in this day, we would have been looking for a short if you're intraday trading. And pretty much all throughout this area. So here we go at this time right here. Once this candle closed and we're in this candle right here, we're looking for a long. And we're not looking to get out until this candle flips red on us and closes. So in here, out here. One easy way to do it. It's more complicated than that, but if you stick to Heikin-Ashi instead of candlestick bars for looking for momentum, I think that you'll be quite well. There's other ways to do this as well, and especially if you're looking for significant horizontal support and resistance, try switching over to a line chart. It's going to eliminate much of the noise, and you're going to be able to see. Now, remember, the line chart just plots closes. So there are interesting ways to do this. I think that you can get more leading indication on higher time frames if you actually use the indicator for open. And there is a Pine script to do that because when you use a line chart, it's just plotting closes and then drawing a line between them. However, if you plot opens and plot a line between them, it's interesting because again, we're generally looking to trade in the momentum of the higher time frames. So for example, and I find that again, Heikin-Ashi is better at this than traditional Japanese candlesticks. Japanese candlesticks are what you want to be looking at when you're looking for your entries and exits as far as horizontal levels go. But when you're looking for overall market direction, I do find that you get a lot of noise unless you're skilled at Japanese candlestick analysis. which takes a long time to accurately learn how to predict. Most people only know dojis, hammers, hanging mans, evening stars, morning stars, Marubozus, haramis. Again, you have to know all that stuff if you're going to analyze candlestick patterns. Okay, so daily chart of BTC. Having a very weak reaction right here. And the reason I say that the apex is tightening is because we're having price contraction, guys. We're having price contraction. We've seen extreme price contraction pretty much over the course of 3 weeks right now. We have a little bit of volatility. Obviously, we have some nice volatility right here. And then just over the last 3 weeks, extreme price contraction. And when you have price contraction like this for 14 days, you get expansion. Now, I do believe that we're going to move lower to test support before we move to the upside. Again, I will not be looking to put on a long in this particular situation, as I've told the subscribers. And the reason for that's very simple. Again, we look at Hikinashi, we're not looking to go long. We look at the 3-day chart, not looking to go long. Look at the 24-hour chart, we're not looking to go long. We're just not looking to go long. If anything, we'd be looking to go short. So if we flip over to traditional candlestick analysis here, now let's throw on some clutter on our chart. Let's get some lines, let's get some levels, but not volume, because that's going to clutter us out. All right, so 24-hour time frame still being governed by the 8-period exponential moving average on the daily time frame. Now, that doesn't mean a whole lot. A lot of this stuff is painted, but what it does tell us is that as long as price is being suppressed in this fashion, we don't look to go long, unless you are attempting to purchase overbought, oversold conditions, and for that, we use something like the time transformer. So what does the time transformer tell us? Time transformer lets us know that we are approaching oversold conditions and we are getting a daily cross up right now. However, I cannot go off that indication alone. I have to look at where we are in the range. And the reason that I say the apex is tightening is because we are, and again, this is really not the way that I prefer to look at the charts. But as I talked about yesterday, we are, if you plot it in such a super secret magical fashion, you can see the falling wedge pattern. Now, full disclosure, I do not like falling wedge patterns because in my opinion, chart patterns are painted. I don't think the chart patterns hold a lot of validity. Trend line's a little bit more different. Chart patterns are mostly painted. I have not found in my years of trading that they're really helpful for you in distinguishing, you know, like what's like how to play things. I mean, if you are, I mean, and just as a serious person, like if you're coming to me and you're saying, hey man, look at this cup and handle. I mean, just on its face, it kind of sounds ridiculous. Now, I know that there are lots of pattern traders out there. In my experience, you're better off not going down that route. You're better off not going down that route. You are better off understanding momentum, volume, and key levels of horizontal support and resistance. I think that you're going to have much better success as a trader in looking at those metrics to determining your strategy. Again, step 1, risk management. Step 2, identify key levels on higher time frames and then develop a strategy for what to do when price comes to those levels. And then look at the lower time frames for timing. It's that simple, guys. All right, so what are the key levels right here? Well, looking at the volume profile, we are, again, holding that bottom level of support right here. Now, what am I going to need to see to really try to take a bullish trade off of this? I mean, most people would say that if we get a nice like spike, let's look at again, we're looking at the daily time frame right here. So if we can get a nice spike and close above the 21 and above the local point of control coming around 35, 36, again, the trade is on the table to retest the 55 exponential and previous resistance down here. So again, let's pull this back down. So that is basically going to be undershooting our descending trend line. You can also alternatively shoot for the descending trend line itself because that is acting as our upper level of resistance right now. So traditionally, again, you can see when price does close the daily above the 21 exponential moving average, we've made a run at that descending trend line right here. Price closes above the 21 exponential average, holds it as support. We make a run at it right here. Price does not close above the 21 exponential moving average, and we are not able to sufficiently make a run at it. Price is suppressed and governed by the 21 EMA. All right, so for me, I'm not looking for a long until a few things. If I see the Heikinashis do a color flip on the daily time frame, okay, cool, I might go with it. If I see on the Japanese candlesticks, if I see us close a daily above the 21 EMA, then I'll potentially be looking to take a stab at the point of control in the 55, and I'll hold winners open for the descending trend line as well. Again, still at this level, I will still be looking to put on shorts, similarly to this region and this region. Although execution was a little faltered here when we did actually come to the region, so it is what it is.
Honey Badger don't give a shit. It just
Hiyo
takes
123,
what it
thanks so much
wants.
for the sub on YouTube, or not sub on YouTube. Follow on Twitch. Thanks so much. Ultimately, in my opinion, I do think, I think that we might see just a few pumps. In fact, I'm not ruling out that we do see a nice stab up here to 35.45 to retest the 21 EMA, to retest, as you can see, this HVN. Again, if you look right here, let's go down to the lower time frames and point this out. I'll go to the hourly chart and we'll look at some breakers. Okay, so let's look at this order block right here, guys. Let's look at this order block right here. Okay, so you have this level right here acting as support. Price is wicking down below, but not closing below, okay? So you've established this range essentially as your breaker, okay? And we see it similarly over here. We see price wicking up into this area, but unable to close above it, all right? This establishes a break range. And as we can see, if we look at the volume profile, what does this correspond to? Corresponds to a low volume node. Again, price does not like to hang out in LVNs. Price does not like to hang out in LVNs. Price likes to zoom through LVNs. So at the top of this breaker, we do have significant resistance around that 35, 36 level. And below the breaker, we do have support that is ranging and chopping right here, okay? So the trades that I would be looking for, if you're looking in the short term, is potentially, if you want to play it a little bit more risky. Mark Reeves, thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. If you want to play it more risky, because again, I'm not looking to take longs when the higher time frames are flashing bearish. But if you wanted to take a risk, again, you can see right here the support level that we've plotted out. Again, you can see the spike on the HVN, and that's relevant whether we go to the higher time frames. You can see that level. You can see that level very clearly. All right, so let's go to the higher time frames, and yes, you can see this HVN right here, this support cluster right here, that level that we had plotted out, that 3380 level. Again, we're looking at the BMX chart right here, guys. So make sure to correspond this to spot price if you are trading spot. Of course, you can't go short on spot, so it sucks for you. So far, we're holding this support, and what I could potentially see is a stab up through the HVN. Let's go back down to that hourly chart to talk about that. So let's just point out what I'm talking about here. Is a stab up through this breaker and a rejection, an intraday rejection from the point of control around 35.40. Okay, you'd be managing your risk above the HVN on that level. Basically, you'd still be looking for price to form a lower high before moving down. So you can take that long if you want to put that on. You can take that long if you want to put that on. It's not the trade that I'm going to be looking for. Again, I'm just going to be looking if price does not move lower to more significant support. If price does not move lower to more significant support, then I will not be looking for a long. I will not be looking for a long until we're actually above this level on the higher time frames, until we actually clear out this resistance cluster right here. So just the way that I have to play it safe in this current market environment, and it is what it is. Hey, what's going on, Truce? The man, the myth, the legend. Nah, man, just to do with this computer and a little bit of technical analysis. Let's see here. So that's pretty much it for Bitcoin, man. I mean, nothing's really changed, dude. Low volatility, low chop, no clear indications of which way to go on the HTFs. Really, all we've got going on for us right now is still holding that short open. I mean, if you're playing the range appropriately, and respecting the resistance channel, and respecting the let's go over here too. And respecting the significant levels on the higher time frame. So here we have the exact same thing on the weekly chart. Here's spot price right here. You have this resistance, you have this equilibrium block right here, which is forming resistance, and then you have your key levels of support down here. So what I would like to see, again, is I'd like to see that movement down to 32.39 and 31.22. I'd be tickled pink if I could see a sweep of the swing low. I'd be tickled pink if I could see that and see an SFP pattern, which is basically a slight movement below but unable to close lower than the actual swing low. And then a movement back up to resistance. That's what I'm playing for. I think everybody's screaming for a short. I don't think we've had enough range price contraction to be able to break significantly to the downside. As you can see over here with Bitcoin, it did take us pretty much all of a year. It took us about 9 months to actually actualize to the downside. It took this long to blow off the momentum necessary to move down 30 to 40%. And so everybody that's screaming for 30, 40% down at this point in time, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I think it's going to be a nice shakeout, especially if we go over and look at if we go look at the underlying metrics. So let's go pull up vcdepth.io. If we go to the nearest 5%, we can see that Bitcoin's still increasing in MDR, continuing to grow the MDR over the 24-hour range. Now, why does that mean that I'm not going to go bullish right now? Why does it mean that I'm waiting for the right time to go bullish for BTC? Because this is within 5% of price, and within 5% of price to the downside is the swing low. Okay, so just because limit orders are being put onto the books doesn't necessarily mean that they're being put on within 1% of price necessarily. So these are just the fundamentals that we have to look at. So pulling open the market depth and the market depth ratio on Bitcoin, allow it a second to load because it is kind of a slow WebSocket. So as you can see here, yes, limit buys on the order books continue to rise and limit asks continue to stay stagnant. Seeing a little bit of a brief spike right here, but nothing super significant. So this is different from longs to shorts ratio. So when I see increased interest, when I see open interest in buying and decreasing interest in selling, that's a bullish signifier for me. It means that there's more buying than selling. It means that there's more demand than supply at this current point in the market right here. What's interesting to me is to also see the market depth on stable coins as well, something like USDC. So if we look at USDC, typically when we see USDC high, when we see the market depth on USDC high, which is, Coinbase's stablecoin, when we see that quite high, and Circle stablecoin as well, actually, pardon me, when we see that quite high, it generally means that people are moving into stablecoins and moving out of cryptocurrency. However, to see them both simultaneously would impart to me that there's fresh money moving into cryptocurrency at these significant levels. So I have to look at that. I have to look at that as my fundamental bias. And my bias is bullish. Alrighty. Same for the, let's look at sentiment real quick. Let's look at bull bear income. Okay, and looking over the last month, again, I've pointed this out many times, but as you can see, when the longs are profitable, sorry, let me get rid of this stuff. Short positions, long positions. We just want to look at bull bear income via Bitger. When long positions are profitable, price reverses. When short positions are profitable, price reverses. All right, so as you can see here, this is actually, so somehow this has been rejigrified. So looking at the last 7 days, here we can see that the longs were profitable, and what happens, price moves down. Here we can see pretty much throughout this whole period, though, on the longer time frame, the bears are in profit. Generally, price is going to move up. But I do want to see more significant signifiers on the monthly time frame before I take a trade. So as we can see here, longs are quite, we have a spike in long profit at this level, price reverses. We have a spike in long profit at this level, and price moves down. So basically, we're looking for metrics like that to be able to take our position. Now, what's interesting is that if we go back 3 months... Yeah, here we go. Here we have our spike in bullish income. Now, this was actually, if you just tuned in a few days ago, this was interesting because this was actually pulled back a little bit. So let's go back here. Yep. So as you can see right here, throughout this period right here, pretty much from the 3,400 to the 3,200 range right here on Bitcoin's price, we have a spike in bear income, and what happens? Price moves up. Price moves all the way up to 4,000. So interesting metric to be watching for, and I do use that in my trading. Now let's go look at the bid-ask sum. So we'll just be looking at Bitcoin right now. So within 5% of price on Bitfinex, again, the order book's still extremely bullish. If we go look at Coinbase, order book's still more bullish than bearish after a brief little almost touch and tips there. Ooh, yeah, talk dirty to me. And BitMEX. BitMEX is the only exchange where price is more bearish than bullish. So why do I think this is? Why do I think this is? What that implies is that individuals who are trading futures, speculators on the future price of Bitcoin on BitMEX, are more bearish than bullish. However, the index price, the spot price, does not back up that bias, which means, in my opinion, what I do want to see is I want to see more shorts pile in, and I want to see a dip in the price. I want to see shorts get overly confident as price comes down toward the swing low. Everybody is going to attempt to short the bottom, and that's when I'm going to be entering into my long positions to attempt to ride the range back up to the top. That's the way that I've set this out to play. My opinion hasn't changed for quite a while. Long the bottom, short the top. It's quite simple. As long as you guys remember not to short support or long resistance, I think you'll do all right. Breakouts are tentative and speculative, and you do have to be looking at a trend-catching strategy when you're looking at taking breakout trades. And you do want to get confirmation that the breakout is valid. Cody Osterreicher, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube. Michael Burns, thank you so much. Svante Adeline, you as well. And Mark Reeves, if I did not mention you already. And let me just go over here to my dashboard, make sure I didn't forget anything. No, not so much. Okay, so enough of that. Let's pull back up Streamlabs and switch back over here.
It's over 9,000!
It is over 9,000, Guebo Fett. Okay, so there's Bitcoin for you guys. Here's Ethereum. Ethereum, actually interesting. So whereas I'm not looking to take a position on Bitcoin, that means that I'm generally not going to take a position on Ethereum either. So again, looking at the daily timeframes, we're still pretty much in bearish momentum. We haven't really entered into that bullish, haven't gotten that bullish confirmation of a spring up that I do want to see. Now, Ethereum, I might be willing to hedge. I haven't entered into a position yet. Would potentially be looking to hedge, although I prefer the short position, and that's actually what I'm playing. So I do have to be logically consistent in my analysis. So I have to be consistent in what I say on the show and what I say in the group. So pardon me. The exact same thing for Ethereum. We've come back down as we talked about on previous streams. I've talked about the support level by the HVN on ETH. Pretty much the same thing as well. Very similar for BTC. So support level via the HVN, the high volume node on the volume profile. Right here, via the HVN on the volume profile, key level of support. Potentially a movement back up to retest your previous breakdown zone and play within that breaker zone real quick. Not real quick, but to play within that breaker zone. And we see quite similarly the same thing here. We do have this support level coming in. We do have this support level coming in. However, not looking to put on a long. I would only be looking to put on short positions if price is actually able to make it above this level until we move down to more significant levels of support. So I feel much more comfortable in the safe, or in the short, excuse me. Again, just looking at Heikinashi, we can see the momentum is clearing out right here. But unless we see some significant movement and some significant break of the trend, again, not really interested. Don't really have, let's take a look.
9,000!
Now, we do have overbought conditions, or excuse me, we do have oversold conditions on the Fisher Transform. So we would have gotten the buy signal right here on the Fisher Transform. However, what you do need to couple with your analysis is not just the use of one indicator. It's not just the use of one indicator. This would have been quite good for a scalp. So as you can see here, right here, the Fisher did catch the bottom quite nicely. And let me show you guys, actually, I think this is a good opportunity to show you what I'm working on. I showed the subscribers earlier this morning on what I am working on. Now, I'm not completely done with the logic. Yeah, not completely done with the logic. So as you can see right here, what I'm working on, and this actually should be done. So I'm interested that it didn't catch this. So I just have to adjust this real quick. So this is the time transformation indicator. This is an enhanced version of my time transformer. And what this baby will do, this has coded in alerts for overbought, oversold conditions. The only thing that I have to finish up tweaking today is it just took me a while to get the framework to get this all working in Pime. But this will capture overbought conditions quite nicely. And this should be a sell. I'm seeing my logic right here. The only thing that the reason that this candle did not flash, actually it would have been this candle. This would have been the sell candle right here, because it's the point where the trigger and the Fisher cross, the touch, actually, not necessarily, it doesn't require it to close below. That's when they touch, so that you can actually not have to wait for candles like this to be out of your position. The reason is because you would have had to slightly move down your overbought position. So I'm actually changing this to a variance with an oversold. And in a market condition like this, where you're in a downtrend, you do want to adjust your oversold levels down so that your triggers are going to hit more often, so that you're going to get more short signals. So this would have had you catching the bottom and really would have had you out here. I just need to tweak that logic just a little bit so that it captures this and is not requiring the cross under above the oversold conditions. So this just depends on what levels you're trying to catch, so as you can see right here, this is pretty good. One thing that I've done here is coded this to give you good indications. So you also get the plot shapes on the indicator pane as well as bar colors will actually change when you should be buying and when you should be selling. So as you can see here, this does have you averaging down. But because, again, when you're in a bear market, what you do want to do is adjust your oversold levels down. And I just have to fix the logic so that these levels actually catch. But this would have caught this bottom had you selling at the tops. You would have been entering into your short here, covering here and here, and would have caught this bottom as well. So that's the purpose of this. It's a momentum oscillator. Now we're going to be pairing this with key levels of horizontal support and resistance, and you've got your 2 indicator patch. So this will be quite nice when I get it all done, but should actually be done today. That's my green screen, boss. Let's see here. Yeah, man, I had to reduce the video quality to kind of deal with my low latency, man. Let's see here. Do I think the BitTorrent token sell-off, do I think that if people sell off the BitTorrent tokens will cause Bitcoin to dump? He just funded around 100 million USDT, and there is no reason to hodl all these cryptos. You know, I don't really have a strong opinion on that, man. I really don't. And yes, the monthly did close below the 55 EMA. All right, let's go look at ZERP. Be gone, you. All right, so let's just get rid of some of this clutter again, as we always do, just looking at price action here. Taking a look at Heikinashi on the daily time frame right here. Momentum chop. So when I see a big movement like that, what I'm looking for is the SR flip. And I talked about this yesterday. So if we actually go, let's actually delete that. Yeah, I did hide the risk to reward, the potential trade, at the great request, at the great demand of everybody that's mega bullish on ZERP. But as you can see right here, we haven't gotten true indication that we're out of a bullish trend on XRP, which I do have to admit, which is totally fine. Regardless of how I feel about the platform. I do have to approach trades in a calm, neutral fashion. So, an unbiased opinion, because then if I trade my bias, I wouldn't be able to do this for very long. Recommendation to you guys as well. So nice little bullish movement up, forming a lower high, but holding the support level right here. So what am I watching for ZERP? As you can see here, we're getting a nice wick back down into the support zone right here. You can see this is a critical area for ZERP. Resistance here, here, but more recently here. Struggling to hold that 618. And as I said earlier, if you look at that red line in the 618, this is really the pivotal area for ZERP. You know what I mean? If once we get rejected, we move down. Once we really break above, and we've only had 2 examples of this We've only had 2 examples of this. The last time when ZERP went on its moon mission, and the last time when ZERP went on its Undertaker mission. So that level that confirmed kill level right here, before we really descended into the barons, did act as the determining factor, unable to close above there, finally able to close above here, and held as support. So now we're just kind of wicking and hanging around this area. So I do need to see, I'm fundamentally, I'm inclined to be more bullish, as I said. I'm inclined to be more bullish on ZERP. There's plenty of time because we do have such upward targets. Again, as I talked about earlier, if you were purchasing the 786, you're targeting the 382. If you were purchasing the 618, you would have gotten stopped out, but you would have been targeting the 236 on the Fibonacci retracement. And now we're just in that level of consolidation. We're just in that level for consolidation. So XRP did fall down to the 618 essentially and consolidated around this range of the 618 Fibonacci retracement for quite a long time. Had that brief descent down to the 786 and right back up, and just back in consolidation mode, guys. Back in consolidation mode. So it would be nice if you were waiting. If you were really waiting to go into a position now, you can wait until we do break these, until we close a daily above the recent dailies. So a level like this, because that's your lowest, that's your highest previous daily close in the consolidation range.
9,000!
All right. Similarly, that green level is acting as your support. So until then, you can look to play this range. You can look to play this range. Obviously, the range tightened up, and you could have gotten in at this level right here. So there's 2 possibilities for ZERP. And I'm going to wait for my particular position until one of those is actually satisfied. Get in the daily. Again, as you can see, you're getting some nice buying coming in right here. Trying to keep us above the support level right here. Just pretty much the breaker zone, which was invalidated right here. Really, that breaker was invalidated when price on daily closing basis has descended back into here. At this point, this no longer becomes an LVN where we would expect to put on our buys, and you would have had to be targeting. You would have had to be targeting oversold conditions on this. Or predicting the swing low. So for technical reasons, unless you were looking at lower time frames, again, the only way that I can see where you would have been able to catch this is if you were specifically targeting oversold conditions. So there you get bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart. Let's see if you see it on any higher time frames. No, you don't see it on any higher time frames. You have oversold conditions on the 6, oversold on the 12, oversold on the 24-hour chart. So unless you were targeting extreme oversold conditions and you were looking to do your entries based on that metric alone, I don't see how you could have caught this. And since I don't just rely on overbought, oversold levels, but I do look at breakers, and I do look for HVNs and HVNs. I didn't catch ZERP. Because once we close down below support, although you can predict a stop hunt and a quick reversal, everybody's saying that this was a fundamental event driven by news. This pump happened pretty much. Listen, all the buying was done before price pumped. And then retail came in and helped spike the price up, and then pretty much bought in at the exact worst time. I know, as retail does, everyone goes long here. Everyone goes long around this region, and it's pretty much the worst time that they could be going long. All right. Now, one thing that does stand out to me about the time transformer is that price has been unable to make it above the 0 line. So unless price is able to make it above the 0 line, if we do get rejected, if we do top below 0, that lets me know that the wave cycle is still in the negative aspect, and that we're most likely going to touch support before moving back up. Be looking again for those oversold conditions, before I'd be looking for a movement back up. Alternatively, this can have follow through. this hammer candle cannot follow through. Again, you can't count it for price analysis because it's not closed. You have to wait till candle's closed to analyze candlestick patterns. But just being realistic about the situation with ZER, getting that daily close back above the red line, that critical level that we've been talking about, would seem to represent a support resistance flip. And then you're targeting resistance. And then you're targeting resistance. So, action to take, buys around here, or buys on this hold of the SR flip. Now, if price gets rejected from this level, then I'll probably look to short. All right. So there's the three biggies, guys. BTC, ETH, RIPS. Let's double check. I just want to check Alex's specifications. Yep, so I do want to give a shout. Oh, by the way, guys, do it on the stream, man. Happy birthday to one of our analysts, Alex. Happy birthday to you, man. I just want to say to you personally, I appreciate you as a friend. You've been a great contribution to the team. I enjoy working with you every day. You're a fantastic human being, and I wish you happy birthday, man. Much love and respect to you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.
Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger don't give a shit. It just
Hey, thanks, Exit Only. Thanks for the follow on Twitch, guys. So let's go into, let's actually look at one of Alex's last calls, which is LTCH19. This is a little bit more of the experimentation that I was doing with the time transformer indicator. So let's see here. I guess really the only negative that pops up is, as you can see, this indicator would have had you averaging down pretty much in a 30 to 40% drop on the 4-hour chart. But all would have worked out well because then it did catch the nice pump. And if you're averaging down the correct way, looking at key support levels, so you buy a position here, 2 positions here, 4 positions here, which would give you an average entry around the median, and you would have done out quite well. You would have done it quite well. Catches this bottom right here and this top, catches this bottom right here, and actually doubles you up right here, and then this top, and then catches this bottom right here. So once I finish coding the logic for this, to actually, I have to code risk management into it. So once that's done, then I'll strategy test it and back test it. But I've been trading with the Fisher transform, basically using these same metrics for a while. But this will just be convenient because now you can actually set alerts on the system. You can set alerts on the system, and you'll be good to go. She's a mooning or she's a sinking. So let's go look at LTCH19, because that was one of the last trades that Alex had actually put on for us.
It's over 9,000!
Well, thank you so much, sir, for the sub on YouTube, good sir. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. There we go. Playing around with a lot of different stuff. So let's look at this. All right, so looking at Alex's call in the Premium Signals channel, entry at 891 and 885. This would have been 4. This closes in 45. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. And take profit at 901, 915. And then hold the other 25% open with the trailing stop. So, listen, guys, this is working out quite well for us right now. LTC doing a nice little moon mission right now. Now, let's look at what we can see. Let's actually go over to LTC BTC. LTC BTC. And try to determine where key levels are. You're right here. So this level right here was acting as your resistance zone. And again, we do need to be drawing these. Sometimes I need to redo these, sorry, because I do so much playing around with stuff, guys. But you can clearly see where this level is so significant for resistance, guys. Rejection right here, confirmed kill right here. Basically, you have a, I mean, this is very similar to what Bitcoin saw. You have a nice descent into chaos and madness. The bulls sense a little bit of weakness right here. Price pulls up to test this level, is rejected, comes up again, is not able to close even higher than this, actually has a lower close, so not even an SFP. Pulls back down, tries to rally enough momentum to break through, puts in an SFP where you actually have a higher high, but not really unable to close, not really significantly able to close higher. It does close a little bit higher, but that's an SFP, and down into the barrows we go. Get a nice little struggle right here, and then a pullback for a little bit of consolidation. And this is kind of that, this is exactly that pattern that I was talking to you guys about when you're looking for breakout, for real breakout patterns to look for. You have a nice steady movement up. You put in a higher high, you put in a lower high, or a low, you put in a higher high, you put in a higher low. You come back up and retest resistance, you put in a higher low, and then you approach resistance on fairly low momentum. So you see this approached resistance on low momentum, on low volatility, meaning that the buyers were not exhausting themselves and they actually had enough for the breakthrough right here. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to put an extreme amount of weight on this. Let's take a look and see where some resistance is on the daily time frame. So you can see that we do have this resistance block. We have this little node on the HVN right here. So that's going to be coming in between 96 and 98, which is pretty much the retest of our high zones right here. If we look at where upward resistance above those levels would be, we have the first area coming in right here on this previous resistance order block. Now, what's interesting is that there's an LVN in between here, which is interesting to me. But we do have, obviously, the breakdown zone right here where we have support, and then we have an attempted stab up above resistance. And a rejection, which led us into the most latest, well, not the latest downturn, but really what put us into this trading range of accumulation. Again, I don't play inverted head and shoulders. It's just more clear for me to see when key levels of resistance are broken. Because if you take some kind of metric and measure like this and say that, all right, well, we broke the inverted head and shoulders neckline right here. That means we're going up 9 million%. Does look pretty bullish to me, guys. And again, using LTC as a leading indicator for what I think is going to happen with the other markets as well. Sorry, right over here. So you do got your upward targets right here. If you do want to ignore this order block area. Now, the key thing to watch for is the retest of this zone. Again, we saw this. This is exactly what we were talking about with XRP, with ZERP. All right. But ZERP looks quite different. But the idea is the same. Key level, key horizontal level. All right. Price is consolidating at that key horizontal level, breaks down below it, and then stabs up for an attempted try. But until we get that confirmed SR flip, this trend has not broken. All we've done really is put in a lower high. So that's why I'd be more interested in looking at the bottom of the range. The bottom of the range right down here, this level of support. And what I'm going to be looking for that, again, if we go down to the lower time frames, we go down to something like the hourly. What I'm looking for is this level to be rejected. So as you can see now, ever since we have that nice little moon mission, we have a lower high and a lower high and lower lows. So until that lower high, lower low pattern breaks and we get higher lows and higher highs above and well beyond this support and resistance level, and then I can't be looking for a long, guys. And again, it's as simple as Heikinashi flipped red. Generally, your indication to be out of a long and be looking for potentially a short. But again, this candle hasn't closed, so you have to be patient. Short wick. So let's take a look at spot price. Now, I will say this. When you see big green candles and you were in a comfortable position, this is generally a good time to take profit or move your stop up. Not going to lie. With how volatile cryptocurrency is, unless you're using a trend-catching strategy and you have clear defined levels and you've back-tested your strategy to know that, hey, I get stopped out when the trend is catching, and I'm okay with losing out on scalp trades. You know, I'm okay with losing out on range trades because all I'm interested in is catching those big winners, which means that even when you see something like this, even if you had bought, for example, here, let's pull open. Yeah, wouldn't have caught that one. Would have caught this, would have caught this, would have sold here. Actually, this is interesting. So LTC on the daily. Sorry, I'm using this opportunity to play around with my new work because I finished coding it last night and I haven't had a whole lot of time to play with it. See, yeah, I got to fix that logic because that's clear overbought conditions. But yeah, LTC, BTC on the daily would have had you averaging in right here, and out right here. But really, it should have had you sell right here on this candle. As you can see, we do have those overbought conditions. I know what's tricking this up is in the code. In the code, I have this specified that you need to have the sell trigger occur above overbought conditions. When I need to get in there, I just haven't implemented it yet. It should be done today. Actually, it's super simple. Is the variance range something like 0.25%? I'll just play with it. But yeah, not bad. Not bad for pretty much one big trade. Not bad for pretty much one big trade. Well, here's the thing, LTC, BTC. So let's look at the futures contract, guys. So typically here, let's look at this. Yeah. So what do we have here? We have liquidity pool. We have previous support generally acts as previous resistance. The only thing that I don't like is, yeah, so if I'm a gambler, this is not a bad area to be looking at a short. And as you can see, you're getting a little short lick right here. But if we go look at spot price, now let's go down and look at the hourly or something like that. Yeah, let's go look at the hourly. This is generally where I look to take profits on these big green candles, or at least move my stop up. Yeah, so you can see here that as you zoom down into the lower time frames, you're going to catch smaller movements. For example, here with LTC, BTC. I'm just talking about my indicator here. Let's see here. Yeah, sell here. So this would have averaged you down okay. Would have been the most profitable trade. This one would have been good here, and then the double up 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 here, and then you sell here. That was really increasing. That was pyramiding you up, which is nice. I like how it does that as well. And then you can either look for this as a short or this as a short as well. That depends on your own personal strategy, and I'll put that in there for aggressive, conservative, and middling. Anyways, let's get rid of that. Sorry. You know, there was a time in my life when I would want to market enter short on something like that, but I'm not going to. It's not a bad gambling opportunity, especially as you're coming close to the proximity of previous resistance right here. But the most significant one was right here, and as you can see, this level did act as resistance for Litecoin right here, and then was broken right there and really went on moon mission. However, the more significant daily time frame level, again, you want to determine your key levels on the daily time frame or the weekly or the 4 hour, not the 30-minute or the hourly, is this level right here. So I mean, this looks very, very healthy to me, man. This looks very healthy. I would expect, you know, again, this is a nice, big green candle. And let's look at the volume. Is this a blow off top in any way, shape, or form? No, it's absolutely not. When you see a blow off top like this, so hopefully you guys can see that. Let's look at volume. When you get a massive spike in buying volume right there, that's when I want to be entering into a short. But as I said earlier, when you approach resistance on low momentum and low volume, that is a sign of strength. Anybody who tells you that it's the opposite is stupid. It means the buyers haven't exhausted their capital. It means there's plenty of capital to be pumped into a long position. And it's not until we see the retail traders pile in at the absolute top that all the possible buyers have bought. Anybody who says that look, man, oh man, price is moving up. Price is approaching resistance on low volume. It's going to fail. No, it's probably not. It's probably going to break through. Man, do you see how price just like shot like a rocket at resistance? We're definitely going to break it. No, you're going to reject. It's not 100%, but they're pretty good rules, man. Yeah, I quite like the way this looks. Now, what you want to look for here on Litecoin though is the SR flip. You want to wait for that pullback. And this is spot price that I'm looking at. But a pullback to, and again, that's why, you know, if you're a gambler, short-term short scalp could be all right, but I'm not gonna do that. Back to this level of 9,400, give or take, or excuse me, 9,410. All right, so we're looking at 9,410, not 9,400. 9,400 would be, well, it's not bad. Okay, so yeah, the variance of 9,400. Just want to make sure that I'm looking at my sats right. And let's get rid of all this crap. So a pullback to confirm the SR flip. So you wait for price to pull back and then kick off, and then you can re-enter. If you're not in a long already, if I swear to God, if you go long right here, I'm going to slap you. You do not chase parabolic movements. Don't do that, man. It doesn't matter if it goes up another percent. That is a horrible strategy that's going to get you in the long run completely wrecked. You don't chase parabolic movements, man. If you're late to the party, you look for something where you're not late to the party. Yeah, we're live, bro. Hey, you guys are welcome, man. I do my best. All right, man. I love you too, Johnny Ace. We are definitely live. All right. 120. Geez. Oh, it's because I started late. That's why it's so late. All right.
It's over 9,000!
Some whale watching your stream. Hashtag manipulation. All right. That's enough of that. Transfer to Indian rupees Bitcoin. Not sure what you mean, bruh. All right, so somebody said Dent, so let's take a look at Dent. I believe the choin of cois for dentists. I'll tell you what I was looking at last night was Encash. I was looking at this right before I went to sleep. I was looking at Encash right before I went to sleep. And I said to myself, you know what? This thing doesn't look too bad. Not a recommendation to buy. Let's see what... sorry, guys. I just want to play around a little bit today, man. Bear with me. Just want to see how this would have done. Again, this is not even the finished logic, so I'm really just playing around here. That wouldn't have been a good one right there. Didn't have you averaging down. And the key thing here is identifying, and this is what I'm going to add in. So as you can see here, the only setting that I have coded in is to adjust the length of the fissure. So that'll be a good help for you. You do need to manually adjust the fissure length, but then I'll let you be able to move these lines up and down to adjust overbought and oversold levels, so you can actually capture what you want to capture. So for example, you can see here that what really looks like significant overbought levels is something like -3 and not just -2. But you can adjust this to be as aggressive or conservative as you want. Yeah, this is not too bad. This one's not too bad. Average tier here and there. Yep, not too bad. Okay, so let's get rid of that. But yeah, let's go look at that Dent, man. I was looking at Zerp last night before I went to bed and I rage salted. I'm a busy little bee, buzzing here, buzzing there. That's not going to help us out at all. Consolidation. Selling climax, automatic retest. That's not really a spring. Could be a spring without accumulation. So how about we just keep it simple? How about we just keep it real simple and say that that does not look bullish at all? I mean, listen, guys, it's just my personal strategy. There are ways to catch this crap right here. Like, for example, see, like, for example, my time transformer indicator. Here, 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 sell, sell, sell. So not too bad. But on the larger time frame, man, I mean, that doesn't look bullish at all, dude. If you want to go on a moon mission, man, I mean, you got to go on. We got to break some support, man. Don't take this personally. I just didn't reset the settings, bro. So don't worry. I'll just get rid of that right now. Nobody saw anything, dude. You know who I'm talking. That he knows who I'm talking about. 236. And then pretty much the 50. And then the 618. I mean, it's just getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower each time you make a nice little pop here. Now, if the daily closes above here, I mean, for the love of good, I mean, this is your resistance level right here. If the daily closes above that, then it's like, oh my good lord, moon mission. You know, other than that, you know, we're just kind of like stranging around, man. Do get away for confirmation on a lot of this stuff. Now, if you want to catch the bottoms, it's cool, dude. If you want to catch the bottoms and just, you know, scalp the range trade, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't seem like we're at the bottom of the range, though. Not necessarily seeing oversold conditions. In fact, as you can see, when Dent puts in a nice pump candle like this, you see it here, you see it here, you see it here, and you see it right here. When you put in a nice pump candle like that, what happens? So, having said that, let's look at something like, I think I closed it. Shoot. Oh, and by the way, I do want to give a shout out to somebody who corrected me quite succinctly, because I was wrong, as I commonly am, on the average true range indicator. So you can totally adjust the precision. I mean, it's literally right here and says precision, like totally right here, man. Like, oh my God, how did I not notice that? You just set it to 8. Or you just set it to 8, and you can see your decimals. And they're right there. Beautiful. Well, you know what? I probably will continue to use the one that somebody made for me. Thanks, guys. Tell us about my favorite bags. I don't got any, dude, because I'm not a sucker. Sorry. I don't mean to say that. Like, I'm not. Listen, dude, I'm not bag holding through the bear market. No, I'm a trader. I am not an investor, and I'll tell you why. If you would have bought the S&P 500 10 years ago, you probably would have made a whole lot of money. You know, I'm assuming. Thanks, Nike. I'm going to assume that if you're watching this channel, that you are a retail trader, and that's cool. That's cool, man. I was, you know, and I am as well. You know, I'm not. I don't swing $1 million per trade, so that makes me a retail trader. But what I've learned is to. What I've learned, I guess the most important thing that I've learned is that investing, unless you're a bank, is generally for suckers. I think that people that put their money in a 401k, they're not doing it right, and all they're doing is being slapped by fees and taxes and this and that and the third. It's much better to trade. Even if you want to be a long-term trader, that's, in my opinion, the best strategy. You look at the daily, you look at the weekly, you catch the big trends. What does that mean? That when Bitcoin was accumulating, you were purchasing. When you saw a clear, like, I mean, seriously, Bitcoin went from 19,000 to like 9,000 in like a week, and then popped back up to like, what, 15? And if you didn't sell then, I don't know what to tell you. And I mean, that's pretty much the level where you look to put in your short. And you could have traded all those ranges using overbought, oversold, using moving averages, using Ishimoku, using Heikinashi. Sorry, I love this song. Hey, thanks so much, Johnny Ace, for the subscription on Twitch, man. You're one of the good ones, brother, and thank you so much for coming to the community, my friend. Oh, shoot. Light Yagami, we got you in here. Hey, speaking of which, I just started watching Death Note, like last week. Love it. I got that on most of the time when I'm charting now. It's fantastic. I had never watched it. Man. Rockets engaged, guys. Going on the moon mission.
It's over 9,000.
Dent trading at 29. Let's see here. So if you're looking to out Dent, hey man, I don't want to give you financial advice, man. Honestly, just looking at the way this is. Okay, well, let's go down. Let's take a stab, man. Let's go down to the lower time frames and see if we can wheedle out a trade. At support, we're at the bottom of the volume profile. Point of control sitting above us on the hourly time frame for resistance. Looking at the Fisher transform, which is going to be mega convoluted on the hourly. Again, these things you do want to be looking at on the daily. We've got oversold conditions, but it can get much more oversold. Rejection from the neutral zone once, twice. Lets me know that on the hourly time frame, we have not entered into a positive wave. So let's look at something like the 4-hour time frame. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. Yeah, just the thing is, man, let's see if we can get predictable patterns out of this. Every time you have a high volatile spike, you have something like a... Let's see if we can't put numbers on it. Oh, come on, dude. Quit playing with my... It's tearing up my heart. Yeah, you have a 100% retracement. You have 100% retracement there. You have 1.414% retracement there. You have a... So I'm just measuring from consolidation to... From accumulation to moon mission, man. You got an 886 there. And pretty much you have had 100% retracement now from consolidation to moon mission. I don't know, man. I just don't like the way this looks. It seems just like we're hanging out. We're hanging out in the wrong area to be hanging out in. Now, again, I do have to be logically consistent. Hey, Mal, thanks so much for the sub on Twitch, man. You're one of the good ones, brother, and I appreciate your support, man. And yeah, that is my typical audience. Yes, yeah, you hit that on the head, man. All right, guys, thanks so much for the subs on Twitch, guys. Really appreciate it, man. Let's get some sub love in the chat, guys. Let's see here. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find something bullish about this. And that's dependent on your own personal risk tolerance. And I hate, low sat coins, I hate this because listen, somebody, what's his face can wake up tomorrow and just, give you the old pump it, but so I can only just look at this from the perspective of risk to reward. I'd be looking to buy here and I'd be looking to sell here, but we're approaching the apex of this pattern. And again, I don't like patterns, but they're just a good graphical representation of supply and demand. And it seems to me that we have supply getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and demand not really being able to get stronger. Demand's here, demand was here, got pushed all the way down. So supply was much stronger than demand here. So is this a long-term period of accumulation? Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is a long-term period of sell the bottom. You don't like it, man. You don't like it. If I were in position now, if I had bought here, I'd be looking to get out because I don't like the way it looks. If we get a daily close above this level, then I'd be targeting previous highs. Otherwise, I'd just be waiting patiently to buy around 25, 24, 23. Hopefully that's helpful, my friend. Like, how do I manage my emotions? So I pretty much wake up every day and tell myself I'm awesome and that people like me. That's what I tell myself. Just look in the mirror and give myself the old, Justin, you're a good person. And you know what? God darn it. People like you. Get myself nice and motivated that way. And then I come to the charts. I come sit down on my computer after I get my coffee and after I've spent some morning time with my daughter. And I look at the charts and I say to myself, Justin, you don't know anything. Your human emotions are flawed and wrong, and you need the robot brain. So stick to your trading strategy. Stick to what you've learned. Long support, short resistance. Look for key levels on higher time frames. Develop a plan for those higher time frames. And when you get there, zoom down to lower time frames to execute your plan. And if it goes awry, don't worry, because guess what? You've had computers help you backtest your strategy and as well as years of experience, and you realize that overall you're more profitable than not profitable. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing, man, is handling losses. That's what distinguishes a winning trader from a losing trader, is just being able to handle a loss and having some kind of systemic strategies. Like, I will tell you this right now. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart. Let's look at Mr. Dentacoin. And I'm going to pull open, again, not trying to shill my stuff here, guys, just being real with you. Okay. All right, so this is going to be an unperfected script right here, okay, gentlemen? This right here is a strategy, all right? And using a strategy, even when you take losses, because you have to incorporate risk management into this, following a strategy is, over the long run, going to do better than just subjectively looking at the charts and trying to determine where you think price is going to go, because the market never does what you want it to do. The market does what it wants to do. Now, sometimes it moves in the direction that you wanted it to, but not because you wanted it to. And like in honesty, when I started trading and I tried to subjectively determine where price was going to go, I mean, I just got my face melted off like so many times. You need to have a strategy, man. You need to have a strategy. And as you develop with your strategy and you just get time in the market, you get a good feeling for what it's likely to do. And then you develop a plan around that. And how do you help in that procedure? First off, you do have to understand important areas on higher time frames. Important areas on higher time frames. That's going to help out. Important areas on higher time frames. Key levels of horizontal support and resistance, supply and demand. And then start incorporating into that, how can I exploit other retail traders? How are institutions, how are larger players trying to manipulate or exploit retail trader psychology. This is not an emotional game. Is it tough to test strategy in this bear market though? No, it's not. It's actually nice to test the strategy in the bear market. All I got to do, again, this is, I just coded that in. It works great on other things, but again, it's as with all indicators, you're going to have to adjust it to your time frames. So you have to look back at the past. For example, on this, like identify what were your oversold levels that you want to try and target, what were your overbought levels that you want to try and target. It's not just going to be a slap it on. And what I will do is I'll just code into it. Do you want to be conservative, aggressive, or middling? And then you'll be able to back test it and see, you know, where it works. It's going to work on some coins. It's not going to work on others. But what's even better is that, I mean, it's a strategy, right? You incorporate that one indicator with its strategy with something else like horizontal support and resistance, and you're going to be more successful than somebody who doesn't have a strategy. Okay? I'm biased on Bitcoin going up, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, but I'd like to see it go down first, to put it very simply. All right, we're at a pretty significant level of support, so I'm not ruling out the fact, you know, it's actually probably likely that we're going to see a retest at least to the breaker zone. Could even see intraday wicking up as high as 3,500, 35, maybe 3,580. But I'm not gonna look to put on a long, because I'm looking for that positional trade. I'm getting myself psyched up for it, and I'd like to see price come down here. There you go, man. Yeah, exactly, Johnny. You got it absolutely right. I mean, and me personally, I pull out my calculator each trade, and I determine where's my stop loss going to be, where's my take profit target, what's the risk to reward ratio, and now that I know my stop and my entries, then I can calculate my position size out. Now I know based on my portfolio how much money do I want to put in this trade. And if I could just give one piece of advice to retail traders, like if you've been trading for less than a year or 2 years, honestly, when you're calculating your trade and you're setting your entry, your take profit, and your stop loss, do me a favor, move your entry down to your stop loss, and then move your stop loss down that same distance. And set your take profits between your original entry and your original take profit. And if you do that, I swear, like, just try it, man. Just try it. Just paper test it. Paper test it over the next 10 trades. Calculate a trade. Be like, all right, man, I'm going to enter here. I'm going to stop loss here. And I'm going to sell here. Okay? Paper trade out how it would have worked out if you had entered at your stop loss, moved your stop loss down the same distance, and targeted your original entry. Let me know how that works out for you. What's the profit percentage that I look for? So I don't trade based off that like I used to trade in Forex, where I'm looking for, you know, like 20 pips, willing to, you know, risk 8 to 20 pips, something like that. It's, you know, that's how a lot of people trade on Forex. And now my VPSV strategy, that is an okay implementation of that. That's an okay implementation of that. So like for a scalp, I'm looking for, say, 1% profit. I'm willing to risk, you know, 0.5% profit, something like that, or 0.5% of the trade. But you're not going to make a lot of money that way. Honestly, you're not going to make a lot of money scalping. I'm just being real with you guys. You guys are going to make a lot of money determining what the momentum of the trend is and then trying to ride that as long as possible. And the only way you're going to do that is the long support and short resistance. Alrighty. About 10 minutes left in the show, guys, because I do got to be done by 2. I got stuff to do. So, bullish on Bitcoin, but waiting. Bullish on Ethereum, but waiting. Short-term bearish on Ethereum. So short-term bearish, mid-term bullish, long-term very bullish. Really hasn't changed. ZERP, bullish. Litecoin, bullish. But I need ZERP to prove some stuff to me. I need to see this confirmed SR flip before so we can go back up here. If we're not able to get it back above this level, then we're going back down here. Alrighty then. So when I first started trading, I blew out 2 accounts. That's my biggest loss. And it sucked, man. But, you know, it's not like I'm not going to say I handled it entirely well, you know. I'm not saying that, you know, I haven't had to replace a few pets, but rest in peace, Fluffy. But I'm just saying that, you know, I just stayed dedicated. I realized, you know, very early on that this is what I wanted to do for a living. You know, it sucks to lose money. I mean, I hate taking a loss as much as the next man, but I just learned to take, I was lucky enough to have a mentor that taught me that risk management is the most important thing when you approach trading, not technical analysis. Technical analysis is just a tool. Risk management, how you manage your money, how you manage your investments, and how you manage your bankroll. Because it's just like poker, man. How you manage your bankroll is more important. Let you stay in the game. As long as you stay in the game, as long as you don't go bankrupt, you can continue to play. If you go bankrupt and blow out your account, you're donezo, man. Wayne, Rennie, couldn't really give you an honest recommendation on that. Like I said, for the next, you know, Alex is doing a whole lot. And I want to say happy birthday to Alex. I've been so busy programming these indicators because then I'm going to have them scrape all the coins offline. Well, not offline, but you know, they're gonna pull API data and scrape all the coins so that I don't have to rely on TradingView. And then we'll be all set up, and then I can just look for my swing trades. So I mean, I've got my swing trades set up. We just haven't reached levels yet. So what's a good coin to jump in for a couple hours? I don't know. I couldn't really tell you, mate. Not today. All right, that's pretty much all I got, guys. Oh, before I go, a couple interesting things. I do just want to re-mention. Let's go back over here. All right, if you guys go over to crackingcryptocurrency.com, the link, of course, is in the description down below. You're going to go to the homepage, and the first thing that's going to happen is you are going to be assaulted with a pop-up that says, hey, you, yes, you, I'm talking to you. I see you sitting there. You could win a free month of the premium trading group. It's going to list everything that you're going to get access to, and then you just click Take Me to the Giveaway. All right, it's going to take you to the giveaway page. Now, we're powering this through Gleam, and the way this works is quite simple. It's going to take you to this page right here. It's going to describe everything that you're going to be able to get a hold of. There's 14 days left. We've got 16 entrants so far. This just went live at noon. You're going to have access to all our trade signals and setups. From our entire team of analysts and professional traders. You're going to have access to the Members Lounge chat room and the Day Trading voice chat channel, our resource library database, our live trade tracking sheet, our Cracking Cryptocurrency webinar series designed to teach you to be a profitable trader, as well as mentoring and education in your own personal trade journal. So you'll get access to that. We're giving away 3 of these. So 3 people will get 1 month of free access to the trading group. The way this works is you can scroll down here. You can log in using any of your currently existing social media accounts. You do not need to create an account. If you got a Discord account, you're in. If you got a Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, you can log in using your email. If you got Discus, I don't even know what Discus is, but you can log in using it. And then you get points for utilizing all this stuff, guys. So if you confirm that you follow us on Facebook, you follow us on Twitter, you subscribe to our channel, you follow us on Twitch, you can refer friends and get bonuses, because if you want to refer a friend, it will give you a unique URL that you can share with your friend, and if they complete anything, you get bonus points, guys. And at the end of 2 weeks, we're going to pull 3 random winners from the hat. This does it automatically. And the more entries you have, obviously, the more chances you have to win. So looking forward to that, man. You're welcome, Rain. You're welcome, Wayne. Pump in 5 minutes, Jay Constant says. Discuss. Oh, I get it. Discuss. All right, guys, so go check that out, man. Of course, if you are new to the channel, we're here live every day breaking down the markets, so make sure that if this is your first time, Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss an episode, because we are here for an update every day. If you are a returning viewer, man, of course, you know we appreciate the support, man. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Head on over to twitch.tv/CrackingCrypto. Give us a follow. Give us a subscription. Helps keep the lights on. We highly appreciate the support. Of course, you can always go to the website, pick up some merch, or you can... My daughter has decided that it is time for me to get offline. Of course, you can always go to the website and pick up some merch, or head on over to patreon.com if you want to support us with a tip. And of course, if you are interested in joining the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group, you can get into the giveaway. Of course, you can also find all the information at crackingcryptocurrency.com/premium trading group, or premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. All right, guys, thank you so much. You have all been super fantastic and awesome. Thank you so much for the time. Oh, she's fine. She's the babysitter's right there. It's okay. She just kind of wandered into the room and started yelling at me. We're about to go eat lunch, man. Hey, yeah, that's what she said. She said bye now. All right, you guys have been awesome and fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. I just want to give a big shout out to all the supporters. Give a shout out to the new subscribers, man, on Twitch. Thank you so much, Mal. I highly appreciate it. And Johnny Ace, you guys are absolutely fantastic. And all the people who have been liking, subscribing, following on YouTube, you guys are awesome. Make sure to stop by the Discord, guys. Keep the conversation going. It's all about the community. And, the Letters Walk. Thanks so much for the follow on Twitch, my good friend. And I will see you the same time tomorrow, guys. Oh, actually, no, tomorrow's Saturday, so tomorrow's going to be an evening show. So we'll be going live at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do like to sleep in on the weekends just a little bit. All right, guys, take it easy, and I will see you next time. Trade safely.